Anthony on Air podcast. We're back for another episode. Thank you guys for watching and listening, wherever you're watching and listening from. We've got another Ghislaine Maxwell Associate missing, if you can believe this. Frankie C's been missing, but he's back. So is JSAB. She's here as well. How you guys doing?
Great. How about you?
Doing okay.
Plus, we'll talk about Chewgate towards the end of the podcast. Also, Blockbuster Video has been turned into an Airbnb, so we'll get into that. We got some fun stuff at the end, but let's get into the Ghislaine Maxwell stuff in the beginning. So these photos have just been obtained of Ghislaine Maxwell and a friend, Jean-Luc Brunel. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, there he is there with Ghislaine. And the Post is kind of pushing this off like they're these bombshell photos, and they're just kind of pictures of this guy on the island. You know, there's nothing too crazy about these photographs. There's nothing like
incriminating.
There's nothing incriminating. The guy is just there, which is, again, incriminating enough for some, but not in a court of law. But I think the amazing part about it is you get to the end of this article, and as it turns out, this guy has, quote, vanished right after Epstein's suicide itself. They don't know where he is. Recent reports say he's hiding out anywhere from South America to back in France. He has denied any wrongdoing. Okay. And Brunel's lawyer has insisted his client is not in hiding.
Oh, so he's in touch with his lawyer.
He's in touch with his lawyer. He's not dead. He's not dead, but they don't know where he is. And
or his assistant, yeah.
It's problematic because, again, he was seen on the island and he was there at that time. And so he could probably provide a bunch of information on, you know, what went on or back up Virginia or any of the other girls' stories. And he's not showing up, which begs the question, you know, if you're not there to help, then you were basically part of the problem, no?
I would think so, but this guy he's gone. I can't get a hold of him, but he's communicating somehow. I mean, how is that allowed? If you're part of this case, you should be, brought in, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would guess so, but I don't know when his lawyer said whatever he said. It could have been back in 2007. You know, it could have been before, you know, he vanished. I mean, you know, it could have been. He could be dead, I guess. Now that I think about it, yeah, if this was his lawyer communicating a while ago, he could be. But I tend to think he's not.
Yeah, they gotta dig up that island, man.
A lot of people saying that.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, that island is it's got to be excavated. It's got to go. What's a bad place?
Again, I feel like we need to bring in like a creepy-o-meter or something. This guy, he ran a modeling agency.
There you go.
There it is, right? You're just like, oh, okay, some guy. No, he ran a modeling agency.
Not a good start.
No.
Brunel, who is 74 right now, has not been charged in this case, although he came under investigation in France for sexual harassment last year. He has also been accused of supplying underage girls to Epstein, including 3 12-year-old sisters from France as a birthday present.
So my question is, what if he's in France? They think he's in France as one of the places. Why isn't French authorities? Why aren't French authorities?
Why aren't the French authorities in on this? I'm sure they are. I'm sure that work has been put together and in the mix, and I'm sure they're working on it. We may not know about it all yet, but I'm sure they're looking for him, you know. Brunel even allegedly...
They're a big part of it.
Yeah, Brunel even allegedly provided girls for an orgy for Britain's Prince Andrew, court documents have claimed. The royal has denied any wrongdoing. In a 2015 affidavit, well-known Epstein and Maxwell accuser Virginia Jeffrey, people make fun of me for not being able to say her name. So don't worry about don't put it in the comments. I know I can't say it. She was groomed by Epstein to have relations with Brunel and that the modeling agency honcho offered up her girls to the multimillionaire financier, including the young sisters. Jeffrey bragged that there were 12-year-olds flown over from France because they're really poor over there and their parents needed the money. Brunel, who ran the MC2 modeling agency in Miami, Florida, and Karen Models in Paris, is credited with discovering supermodels such as Christy Turlington and Angie Everhart. Epstein helped him finance the MC2, and flight records from the money man's private jet show Brunel was on board the plane nicknamed the Lolita Express by Caribbean locals more than 20 times between 1998 and 2005.
Okay.
Kind of weird going back to our last podcast, and we'll put a link up in the, I don't never know really where it go in the cards.
Put it right here.
It goes it goes back to what we said in the last episode. Remember, Jeanine, we were talking about Michael Jackson and the creepy letting their kids sleep over, and so you hear what he says here, like, oh, the parents are poor and they need the money. Like, these guys were like experts at just preying on people that were desperate to make ends meet.
Exactly.
Which is absolutely disgusting. I mean, I don't care how. I mean, I'm not gonna. It's disgusting, and how anybody can be in that kind of way. How this person was able to recruit people that are willing to recruit people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how Epstein was able to find people that were of similar mind to him that would actually work with him on this.
It's
all about money.
A mystery to me.
Yeah, Janine's got it. It's all about the money. It's crazy it's crazy. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at even some of these, and again, not to like pick on religious people, but you look at some of these people that support these, like what do they call them? Like the tent, what do they call them? Like can't think of the word.
I don't know, man.
Steve Martin played it in that movie. Remember, like these.
Televangelists.
Yes.
Or something?
Yeah. These guys that are just like, the guy who blew away COVID and all this, all this crap. It's like people funnel money to these guys all the time.
It's true.
I can't understand, and I'm not comparing one has nothing to do with the next. My point is there are people that will just blindly follow and do whatever somebody else says, and I feel like, again, that's such a foreign. That's such a foreign. Like, there's a reason,
I know what you're saying.
Like, why aren't there cults in Brooklyn? Like, they don't exist. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's always down south or out west or in some other part of the world. You don't have cults in Bensonhurst. There's no cults in,
Maybe there are, and we just don't know about them.
Maybe there are, but I just don't think you can. There's certain people that are more gullible for this, and these
Sure.
Epsteins and Maxwells, they're like predatory. It's like they can sniff them out.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's true. But like,
I just can't understand it.
Go about that, just looking for people to help them do this. It's like you come across one person that's like, no friggin' way. You think that person would be throwing red flags up, and how many people they approach to do this. You feel like one of them would have said, "Hey, this is not cool. Let's call the authorities."
Yeah, no.
You know what? Like, you make a great point, Frank. And of all of these people supposedly involved, you would think you would come across one renegade that would be like, "This is not healthy. Absolutely not. You have to stop doing this right now." And so far there hasn't been one. This is the guy, by the way. Look at that creeper. Look at this creeper. He's like skeevy looking, isn't he? Like, he's like kind of like disgusting looking.
Creepy.
How is it that there was not one person
Saying, no, this is not a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And maybe the loop is smaller than we realize. Maybe there weren't a ton of people in on this. So maybe it was just a handful, maybe half a dozen people were the ringleaders. Who knows?
Who knows? I don't know. But I think that it's awfully curious that now this guy is missing, along with her personal assistant who's missing. Right. They can't find them. Like, how many other people are we going to find out over the course of the next couple of weeks that they just can't find? They fled the,
Yeah, not this many people to go missing. There has, it's not like when something is going right, people start going. It's like for this many people to go missing. There's a lot of wrongdoing going on here. It's not like everybody's innocent and this is all a waste of time. There's obviously something huge going on here, and that's why people are going missing. Huge.
Exactly.
So people don't go missing when everybody's, an angel and doing the right thing.
Huge. Yeah, I agree.
Huge.
I'm working on and this is a new one. He goes in.
You got to pretend like you're playing an invisible accordion.
Yeah, but he does this now. Trump puts the hands forward, kind of like on TikTok with that new. Oh yeah. When they go like this, and the camera backs up.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I think there's something about
Frank. That's pretty good.
Thank you.
There's something about when you become president where I think you get a little bit more cartoonish, but at the same time, a lot more people are paying attention to you and watching your every move, and they start to develop their things. I don't think
there's been a recent president in recent memory that people haven't been able to mimic or to there's no boring voiced or characterized president that's been like. Well, nobody could do an impression of him. That's just boring and ridiculous.
When you look back at the last Trump, Obama, Bush, Clinton, as you go back, I feel like
Reagan.
The more they're president, like towards the end, the more impressions come out about them. But I also feel like the more I feel like they almost start impersonating their own impressions.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Towards the end, you know what I mean? Because Obama's spaces, like if you look at his talk and speech pattern, it's slowed down drastically towards the end. Like those Obama breaths, like they took longer and longer towards the end than in the beginning.
Well, you know what? If you're doing your job right as the president, you age quickly.
Oh yeah. My favorite thing to do in the world is look at that first day in office photo and then that last day in office photo. They all look terrible.
Dramatically different.
Awful.
Let's hope Biden remembers to breathe, though. Okay.
We'll see. We'll take it one day at a time. By the way, I almost broke my face trying to go to Twitter with the tweet now that everybody has. Which was congratulations to Maya Rudolph on Joe Biden picking Kamala Harris as vice president. Now it's everywhere. But I'm telling you, I almost busted my face open trying to get to my phone with that tweet when that news came out yesterday.
That's it.
And you got to ask yourself, is it worth a tweet? I mean, how are we...
Yeah.
How are we prioritizing our tweets these days? I mean, come on.
I don't know, but I still
2020.
I still like that tweet. I'm more excited now about what politics are going to do for my SNL skits than I am about what they're going to do for my personal life.
100%.
So we need a top-notch. I mean, I don't know if there are any big Joe Biden impersonators out there, right?
Okay, great point. Great point. Today,
who's going to do him?
And he was vice president. Today, there's next to nothing. We don't know anybody who does a Joe Biden impression. We don't know any sort of kind of his mannerisms, all that stuff. If he were elected president 3 years in, there would be 1 billion impressions, and he would be impersonating the impressions.
Absolutely. The only one I could think of is Colbert. When the debates were going on before when Joe Biden was chosen, he was doing a lot of Joe Biden impression. He had the sunglasses on.
Who Colbert was?
And he was Colbert, yeah.
Woody, I was going to say Woody Allen. Woody Harrelson did him on SNL. He was one of the guys who did Biden. But there was no impression. It was just like be Woody Harrelson and have white teeth. Yeah, it was no like there was no great stuff like this. But he didn't do.
There will be though.
I don't remember Trump doing this before he got into office. I don't think this was a big.
How often did you look at him? I mean, he was on The Apprentice.
Yeah, I mean, even on The Apprentice, he would put the hand out. Yeah, you
You're
fired.
fired.
Yeah, he did that. That's right. You fired. But he didn't do this. Do this. It's really fun to do. It's like this is like
Frank.
incredibly. Do it, Frank.
You know, there should be like those string games
Yes.
where you do this with. He should just
Somebody's
have those.
got to do that in there.
And as he's going, he's just making new designs, new patterns.
Somebody with talent on Instagram will figure that out for sure.
We'll see.
That'll be
That
a
would be
thing.
good. That's your assignment, America.
So the attorneys for Ghislaine Maxwell are trying. They did a court filing on Monday saying that they've learned of critical new information that impacts Ghislaine Maxwell's criminal case and a civil case where dozens of documents are expected to be unsealed. Her attorneys have asked for the documents, including depositions, remain sealed for 3 weeks as they work with prosecutors to see if they can share information with the court. The filing did not provide details on what the new information is, saying that Maxwell's attorneys aren't at liberty to disclose it because it's subject to a court protective order in the criminal case. So again, they are trying desperately to keep whatever this is. I feel like this next dump is got to be huge. Because they're trying their damnedest to keep this one quiet. What was that, Frank?
What could it be on that we haven't gotten already? I mean, it's documents. But like we have some names, we have flight records, we have all this stuff.
I don't know.
Pictures,
Pictures, yeah, hard
They
drive.
wouldn't release.
videos.
They wouldn't release anything. You know.
I don't know. Maybe it's names of people that we don't know yet, like celebrities. You know.
Could be other
Look
people
at you,
that
Frank. Frank, you have hair on your head in the front.
could be
What's
other.
happening here?
The internet
we
is
got my
swallowing
kitchen.
Frank. Look, the government's trying to silence him.
Exactly.
Oh God, what's happening in my kitchen?
Don't talk about
It's attacking
Ghislaine.
me.
Don't talk about Ghislaine.
The podcast people are like, what are they talking about?
There we go.
So yeah, I mean, who knows what it could be, but whatever it is, they're trying desperately to keep it under wraps. Subsequently, at the same time, now this one I can't figure out. This one I can't wrap my head around, and this one's going to make the conspiracy theory people. This is Christmas morning for you.
Okay.
Subsequently, at the same time, her lawyers are trying to get her put in Gen Pop to go into the prison general population at the Metropolitan Detention Center so that she can, quote, meaningfully participate in her own defense. In a letter obtained by Fox News, it claims that Maxwell has been treated less favorably than a typical pretrial detainee, which they assume is the result of Jeffrey Epstein's apparent suicide attempt in July of 2019. The letter also claims that Maxwell has been subject to suicide watch protocols, and that includes being woke up every few hours during the night and being forced to wear special clothing.
What does that even mean? Special clothing.
I don't know. I guess I was
Probably like to be restrained.
I was thinking about that too, because I watched the Lifetime documentary on Epstein, the one that they did. It was on last night, I think. And they actually showed a picture of the jail cell a little bit more closely than I had ever seen before. And he had access to a lot of clothes. There was a lot of clothes in there that he used to tie all together and hang himself. So I'm wondering if whatever she's wearing is maybe something that's not, that you can't tie up together. Maybe it's like really small or just like slightly covered. I don't know. I have no idea what it could be.
Yeah, what can't you tie together? I mean, you got all the, you're wearing clothes. I mean, I'm sure she has like a bed sheet or something. Who the
I was thinking maybe something that buttons, something that like buttons together so that no single piece is long enough that you could tie to make it long enough to get around your neck and around. Right. I don't know. I have no idea. But I will say this: being woken up every couple of hours, and the other parent in this podcast can attest to this, is a miserable existence. So I'm kind of happy she's going through that.
Right.
So wouldn't it make sense to have a jail cell where you can't hang the clothing from anything?
I wonder if they do have her in something like that. Maybe they do have her in something where there's nothing, you can't tie on to anything. There's no,
Right.
Right. I mean, have like I don't know, an inflatable mattress or something, so it's not like bars and stuff. And I don't know, just like what's it called, Hannibal Lecter style thing with the glass.
Yeah. That's what I said.
Like
she should be in glass in Times Square so everybody can keep an eye on her. Everybody could take shifts. We could all pop into the the web, the Earth cam there and take a look and make sure everything is still on the up and up. There'll be eyes on her 24 hours a day if we did that.
Right. I feel like that's like putting her in Gen Pop. I mean, I don't know, how long is she going to last?
But why are her lawyers asking for her to be put into Gen Pop?
Doesn't make any sense, man.
Isn't that a death sentence?
Fishy.
Yeah. Isn't that
right? Do they want her to get hurt so she gets put someplace else? Yeah. You never know.
Because did she ask for that, or did somebody else ask for that on her? Like, does she even know that was asked for?
I don't know.
If she has access to any kind of news or any kind of media, she'll know.
I don't know. I don't think she is. I mean, if she's on suicide watch and they're keeping her, she's separate from everybody else. I don't think she has access to anything. I can't understand why her lawyers would want her exposed.
I don't know.
Does she have ignorant question? Does she have any family that?
Does she have any family?
I broke up there. Family that we know of that like would visit her.
I don't think she's able to get any visitation rights. It says
nothing, right?
It says she's been in custody for over a month and has been held under uniquely onerous conditions. ONEROUS. Take a beat.
Onerous?
Onerous? The letter read. He doesn't even know what onerous is. This guy's an idiot.
Oh, this is going to come up. You know that.
She's surveyed.
Which Blondie certainly doesn't know.
That was 28 minutes in, I think, or maybe a little less. Just mark that in your comments. Tell everybody to tune into that spot.
She is surveilled 24 hours a day by security cameras that are viewed by both multiple prison guards, many of whom do not appear to be regular MDC personnel. So this is not even your regular local Metropolitan Detention Center guards. It's being viewed by somebody else. That's what I'm talking about. Like, that's what you need. You need an outside view of the whole thing. These prison guards constantly observe Miss Maxwell and take notes on her activity, including her phone conversations with her defense counsel, the letter read. They claim the conditions in the jail are infringing on Maxwell's Sixth Amendment right to participate in her own defense. The Department of Justice did not immediately respond to an after-hours email from Fox News.
How does being in general population help her assist in her own defense?
I don't know.
That doesn't make sense, right?
I guess maybe.
Unless, God.
My guess was gonna be because she can't have a personal conversation with her lawyers. But can't you?
What does that have to do with Gen Pop?
Can't you request to have that be done without putting her into Gen Pop? Yeah. I don't know.
I wonder.
Maybe it is like media and stuff like that. Maybe there's TV time and stuff like that. Like she could see what's going on with the trial in the news. I don't know.
Yeah, and again, like, not to set everybody in a tizzy, but like it is innocent till proven guilty. You have to treat her innocent because, and I say that not in defense of her, but I say that because if you do want to see her get what she's got coming to her, you can't let any of these things slide and have her get a loophole in trial and get out that way.
Right.
So you got to do everything by the letter of the law there.
That's true.
Let's talk about Blockbuster. I love this idea. There's one Blockbuster left, and they're in Bend, Oregon. I guess Jeanine doesn't want to talk about Blockbuster video.
Jeanine was offended by the Blockbuster comment. I don't know why, but
there's one Blockbuster. Yeah, there's too much. There's one. She got taken into Gen Pop. We got to take a check on her there. One Blockbuster Video. There she is.
Welcome back.
There's one Blockbuster Video in Bend, Oregon. They're all out of business. It's not even technically a Blockbuster. It's just a video store that licensed the Blockbuster name, is what it is. And
good purchase.
Yeah, but actually they do really well, and they sell merch. I think they do more revenue in the merch that they sell than they do in actual video sales. But you can still go there and rent a DVD for $3.99 or whatever, and you can have yourself like a nice little evening. They're doing this promotion.
You need a membership card.
You do need a poorly plastic. Yeah, what do they call
Yellow.
that?
Laminated.
You need a poorly laminated membership card to get in. To celebrate their 20th anniversary, if you can believe it, they're celebrating 20 years as a Blockbuster Video, which means that they opened in the year 2000.
Year 2000.
What? No.
Good move.
Which is insane.
Really?
Yeah, they did.
I miss Blockbuster. I got to be honest with you. I really do.
There it is. That's the Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon. You could see it on the video if you're listening on the podcast. And they were going to be celebrating their 20-year anniversary, but because of the coronavirus, they've obviously killed all of their celebrations. But they decided to turn the store into an Airbnb so that you can actually stay there for a night.
Okay,
And
I like this idea.
You would think this would be a crazy expensive thing, but they've decided to only charge $4 to stay the night. But they're only doing it for 3 nights in September. And it's only just to basically celebrate, the fact that they've been around for 20 years.
They should make this a permanent business model for them. I mean,
right?
How many people would want to stay in a Blockbuster place? There's so much nostalgia there.
And they did a killer job. I'm holding it up there to the audience watching. They did a killer job making like a bedroom. By the way, that looks like a television show from the 90s set. You got the bedroom, you got the crazy like 90s Saved by the Bell-ish, sheets on the bed right there. There's like a teal wall on one side. Like teal is such a 90s thing. Like they made
I think if these things start springing up all over the place, it would be successful. It's Blockbuster B&Bs. I think that would be great.
Blockbuster B&B. That's pretty good. That might be the greatest thing you've ever. That's the greatest thing you've ever said.
Really? I mean, that wasn't even my.
Blockbuster
B&B.
Blockbuster B&B.
Well, the Blockbuster
that's what they're doing.
Going to be huge.
Huge.
But I would stay if I was ever going to Oregon for some reason, I would stay at a Blockbuster B&B.
Dude, they got a beanbag, they got a pull-out couch, they got a huge TV, and notice that the TV is a perfect square. It's not a widescreen TV like for today.
Oh.
And look, you're right next to the video, so you got that Blockbuster smell, the carpet and the candy, and the popcorn.
That's what I miss. Going there, getting like 2 or 3 movies, and then waiting online and picking out movie quality candy.
The best.
Like the giant Twizzler pack and like Junior Mints. It's amazing.
The best. I'm not one for back in my day, and I love the technology and I love streaming anything I want right like this. But there was something great about rolling on into that Blockbuster and picking up a huge bucket of popcorn and the Twizzlers and that smell. Yep. And used to just roll. It would take like a half hour, 45 minutes back in the day when we had time. And you would just go, I don't know what I want to watch. And you'd pick based on the cover and people's suggestions. And
there's new releases.
And the new releases. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
What were you going to say?
Look at this horror movie from the 80s.
I used to rent those, Frank. I'm sure we all went to the same one.
On Cross Bay?
That's right.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Yep. I'm not going to name his name. But a very weird kid worked there. And he always used to wear really tight pants.
It's Blockbuster Video. Everybody who worked there was weird who wore tight pants.
My brother worked there.
I'll tell you his name after we get off.
Okay.
Millhouse worked there.
No, I know, but not him. Someone else.
I remember when Blockbuster switched to they guarantee the new movie is going to be there. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And you
Yeah,
walked
sounds
in
familiar.
and there were like 90 copies of the new movie. It was just a wall of one movie. And you were like, oh my God. You just felt so powerful. It's the dumbest thing ever. But you were just like, yes.
It's true.
I will not be denied this film.
What a great experience. Then they had some posters and stuff, and there was a video
There was video
game on.
games. Yeah, there was never a display in that friggin' store that I did not want to take home and put in my bedroom. They're the coolest displays
That's
ever.
true.
And remember,
And
it was
they had
like
some the trailers running on the TVs.
the trailers on the TVs, but it was a thing. Remember, it was like a thing where you couldn't buy them. They had to destroy them. It was some like weird thing.
Yeah, what was that?
Yeah, but I think in the Blockbuster we frequented, which was a neighborhood not with a lot of standards. I think you could like ask for it, and they would kind of give it to you because they didn't really
Definitely.
care.
You have to give the
kinda
guy
sad.
behind the counter a little something, something.
Yeah,
you got it.
Give a little something, and then put your name on the back, I think, and then you come pick it up when it was time to get rid of it. That kind of deal.
I like dropping off movies, and you throw it in the chute, and you hear it smack into everything else.
That was a big thing. Yeah, that was a big thing.
Oh, God,
But do you
Frank.
also remember, and I'm sure everybody can relate to this in their neighborhood that had a Blockbuster video. You got the Blockbuster video and it was killer, but then there were those, and I was part of this crew for a little while, that stuck onto and held around to the independent local video store that you had in your neighborhood. Remember? And like there was like a little while there where you're like, I'm not going to Blockbuster because I'm going to be loyal to my local independent place. And that was Cross Bay Video for me at least. That's the one that I went to.
Cross Bay Video.
I forgot about that place too.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they had those awful red racks. It was like the whole place was just wire racks that were red.
Yeah. Those places you go to when Blockbuster doesn't have something, you go, maybe Cross Bay Video will have it.
Yeah.
Let me see if they have it.
Yeah, because you held on to your membership because it was what, like $4 a year or whatever it was. It didn't really matter.
Whatever.
Yeah. Those are good times.
Hey, my father owned a little video store in Brooklyn.
Did he?
Did he really?
Yeah, it was called Pick-a-Flick.
Wow.
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
It's called Flick-a-Kit?
What?
Pick a dick. Pay attention, Jeanine. Go ahead. You were saying.
It was called Pick-a-Flick.
Uh-huh.
He owned it, and this was,
Lick my pick.
I guess, when I was, I don't know, 2 years old or something. So many, many years ago.
Really? And what happened to it? Blockbuster or no? He went out before that. You don't know.
I'm not sure how it ended.
Yeah.
Frankie, get some stuff.
I think
on
he
your
just
face.
closed it up. I'm not sure exactly if it was like out of business or anything. I don't know.
You know what your father should do? He should call somebody in Oregon and see if they want to open up a Pick-a-Flick over there because that seems to be their thing.
I'll lick a
Pick-a-Flick,
dick
man.
over
It's a
there.
catchy name.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing in Oregon, but they friggin' love a good old video store. Again, I love a video store too. Would I love to go back to those days? I would. But if you put a Blockbuster Video on the corner of my block right now, I'd go on opening day and never go back ever again.
Yeah.
I figured that.
They have to have something else other than renting movies. Like they have to have T-shirts or kind of like a FYE or something like that.
Yeah.
They have to have like movie related memorabilia, selling merchandise, stuff like that. It can't just be renting videos.
Right.
No, they can't. I remember one time I took part in a video game tournament at the local Blockbuster Video.
Oh, God.
Super nerdy.
Oh, you giant nerd.
Yeah, it's one of those.
What was the video game?
It was NBA Jam. Yeah,
I gotta go.
I'm losing Janine's respect as we speak.
Well, I could hear the female audience clicking onto the next video.
Yeah. Jeanine, you got to go. Do you want to talk about Chewgate? Would you like to make a statement on Chewgate? On our last podcast, Jeanine got murdered in the comments for chewing on the mic. Go ahead.
I am so glad I wasn't a part of that podcast.
It wasn't me. It was one of my spawn chewing in my ear.
Sure, blame your kid.
I had to give her cookies so she wouldn't just blabber
Throw
in
a
my
fit.
ear.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what people
So-
should understand is we're all
Stop
you
it.
know.
I know, but I hate that sound too.
I will reach through the screen. And it will be over.
No, but Janine's a working mom. You know, I'm a working dad. Frank's a working dad of a puppy dog. So we're all got. By the way, your dog never barks during the. I never. Yeah.
That's because he's got a muzzle on her too.
No,
No,
I
I
do
know
not.
you don't.
She over the last few months, she just doesn't really bark that much anymore. She did if there's someone outside like delivering a package or something, she might, but not really.
Yeah,
that
I bark
much.
at that too. So
Her energy levels have been down a little bit, so she doesn't bark too much.
right.
Janine barks when the UPS guy comes to the door.
Oh God.
So yeah, so for all you people complaining about the chewing, you are shaming a working mom. For the love of
That's right.
Pete, how dare you?
Also, I agree with you. If I were on the podcast, I would have checked out of it in about 2 minutes. I would have been done. I would have
Frank,
left.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Would you rather hear someone chewing or someone clipping their nails
No.
continuously?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I blipped out. I didn't hear it. What was it?
Clipping your nails. Oh, clipping nails. Someone clipping nails or someone chewing.
I'd rather hear clipping nails.
Really?
That doesn't bother me at all. What bothers me about the chewing, and it's a little less now that I know it was your kid, because it's an obnoxious thing. It's easily controllable.
Okay.
And it's something that's just obnoxiously invasive, and it's just in your face, and it's like an attention sucking thing that it's just so obnoxious, and it's like you could control it, but you choose not to, and it's also disgusting.
I want to tell you something. People who have heard chew with their mouths open do not realize that.
I don't see how.
Until you tell them.
How
They're
do
like,
you not
oh, I was making
realize
noise?
You're making just a symphony of noises.
People don't realize that.
How does that not register? You don't hear that?
Nope.
I've been in situations where I'm sitting there and someone is chewing like they're walking through a pile of leaves, and I'm sitting there going, how do you not hear this? And how are you not strangling yourself?
Yep.
So I think Janine's right. They don't hear it. They're oblivious. They weren't raised right. They were oblivious.
That's even worse. I mean, raised right or not, it's a sound that should be registering in your ears.
No.
I mean, unless you have your hard of hearing, it's a noise that's in the air that we're all experiencing. How do you not hear it?
All right, Frank.
So Janine,
Next time I see you.
Granted, I may be a little more sensitive to it, but
You probably are, because it bothers you so much.
a noise. It's also a noise that should be heard.
Janine, you don't like
Frank?
people clipping their nails? You don't like that sound?
I don't like it, but I only say that because my brother has a problem when people chew with their mouth open. But so where he used to work, someone used to always eat apples every morning.
Oh, man.
And then clip their nails.
At work?
At work.
Oh, yep. See?
That guy's fired. How long did he work there?
A while, yeah.
Oh, God.
But
There's no
imagine, I can't.
I wouldn't have survived there. There's no way I would have stayed there more than an hour. Yep, I'm done. I quit.
Bye. Get up.
I worked at a place where the guy behind me, I was sitting at my desk, guy behind me, sitting at his desk, would chew on a pen, like a Bic pen, with a blue cap, and like
suck
have
on
it
it
in his mouth. No, not the sucking on it, but it would clack around his teeth. He would have it in his mouth, and that plastic would just through his teeth all day. And it was the most annoying thing. Plus, he would have a huge cup of ice, and he would chew on the cubes, and it would just drive me friggin' nuts.
Look at you, you're getting crazy right now.
See, you should be able to get that out of his mouth with a baseball bat. You should have that right.
You know what I am, though? I'm a pen clicker.
I'm a
That
pen
doesn't
clicker.
bother me as much.
Oh, yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
gross.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not gross,
Okay,
but
I
I'll
get
click
it.
a pen like nobody's business.
I mean, it's annoying, but it's not, and it's obnoxious a little bit, you know, if it's like constant, but it's not gross.
Yeah.
Now, see, at my last job, I got yelled at for doing that. And guess what? I didn't even know I was doing it. So
Clicking
these
your
people
pen?
chewing, clicking it like a madman or madwoman. But I didn't know I was doing it until I heard, "What? Can you please stop clicking your pen?"
Is it that, or you didn't know you were being annoying? Like you knew you were clicking it, but you didn't know.
I didn't know I was clicking it. Nope, I didn't know I was clicking it.
So you didn't know it was even happening.
It's like how you, Frank, you shake your leg. Do you know that you're shaking your leg, or does it just go into your subconscious?
Yeah, that's true.
See?
I do that. I do that. That's true. Does it annoy everyone?
The leg shaking can be annoying sometimes.
It's not gross though.
Only when I'm in the same room with you. But outside of that, it's not annoying. Like right now, it's not.
Oh, through this podcast, I don't know if anybody can detect it, but if like you see my shoulders bouncing up and down a little bit, like I'm shaking my leg off the floor through the whole thing.
I thought you were just humping your desk.
That too.
Okay, good.
Not like a little matinee desk hump. I got to be honest with you. All right, we'll leave it there.
Yeah, that's a great place to leave it.
How could people complain about Jeanine's faces? That's one of my favorite parts of the whole thing. I think it's the reaction.
I just make dumb faces. I don't even know it.
The way my screen is configured, Jeanine takes up literally 50% of my screen. So I get like a front row shot of all the crazy faces.
And in person, Frank, you get 100%.
Oh, that's
Damn
nice.
right. It hasn't been for a long time though.
I know.
We are slowly rolling out merch, very, very slowly. So you can't really see it anywhere right now, but our YouTube channel. If you're on the app, it's up in the corner, and if you're on YouTube on a computer, it's down below. So if you want to check out some of our merch, please do so. We'll do a bigger to do once we get the whole thing up and running 100%. But I just wanted to let some people know that right now, not only can you get podcast related merch, but we did make the I award you no points and may God have mercy on your soul t-shirt. So that's out there.
I like it.
And we'll flash it up on the screen.
Cool.
We'll make a bigger deal out of it when we're up and really running, but you could actually buy it right now, which is cool. All right, we'll leave it there. Fun to have the three of us together again. That's always the best for me. AnthonyOnAir.com has all our links and information. And remember to like and subscribe on YouTube and Facebook. And, of course, rate and review if you listen on Apple Podcasts. And subscribe on your favorite podcast network. We will see you guys the next time.
Bye.